Hey everyone, welcome to Dawn of Titans with Driver Armies. Today we're talking about the update. Who's not talking about the update? We're all talking about the update. And I took my sweet time because I was doing a million computations, calculations in my mind. Now the calculations are still ongoing, and despite all those calculations, I still haven't wrapped my head around the entire update. And not only that, but there's been a lot of feedback from all the Dawn of Titaners out there, all of us out here. We've been giving them a ton of feedback, and they actually listened very quickly. Very quickly, they've already come out with some re-update notes, some secondary update notes where they're responding to your demands, all right? So I want to go over those today because I will get into the rest of the update in the following videos. Piece by piece, I want to be comprehensive on each one so that we actually hit it right. But again, if we're having re-changes going on, I don't want to just put out videos that may or may not be obsolete in the next 24 hours, okay? So here we go. These should not be obsolete because you actually asked for these. There's no reason for them to change these again. Here we go. There's a lot of relic noise out there right now. We all had relics and they got shifted around like musical chairs. And actually, I like the rebalance made sense. We've been asking for a rebalance for a while now, as far as each type of relic and as far as the different classes and of course the elements, but we didn't necessarily mean we wanted our relics taken away. The Iron Maul and the Iron Mace have been improved, okay? So militia buffs were now removed and they now feature armor penetration and critical. So they have that motif kind of going on with a lot of the relics we were saying were useless, or everyone understood that the third ability or one of the abilities was useless. So they're saying on the Iron Maul and Iron Mace, which they had changed, they're saying that the militia buff is now gone and it's going to be armor penetration and critical respectively with the archer buff. All right, second up, they're saying players who had the Holy Blade, I actually had a Holy Blade, they're saying those are now replaced. Okay, let's see if that's actually in here right now. There it is. Yeah, so I was actually kind of curious if they meant, is it going to be replaced with something else or given back? What they meant is it's given back. So Holy Blades are back in your relics. If you don't see it there, just reload the game, you'll see it. Masks and Boar Helms, which were all converted into Dragon Helms here, they have been restored correctly to new Dragon Helms of different element types, okay? Boar Spites will be restored correctly to new giant axes, all right? That was another complaint you guys threw out there. The Ice Maul, that was a huge one. Bo, for example, was complaining on APOC's live stream. As you guys probably know by now, they've given that back, all right? So they'd actually merged it, they said, with the Ice Hammer, but because people were mad that they took away that ability for ice damage to be made into any Titan, or any Titan to have ice damage with that item. The Ice Maul, they've given it back to players who had the Ice Maul, and rightfully so, because you guys worked hard for that in the event, and I did not. I should have. I was on vacation. What can you say? You know, I was in different states making different mates. Now, here we go. Missing Shop Relic Tokens have been restored. So that was another thing. When people updated, they said their Relic Tokens or Titan Tokens were gone. Those have been restored. Those were never meant to be taken away. That was just a mishap in the update, and they have corrected that for everyone. The increased terror spell drop. Now, that's a big one. When people were battling, they were complaining big time that they were seeing way too many terror spell drops, and they hate the terror spell. Well, they've reduced it in response to that. So it's supposed to have a reduced rate of seeing the terror spell now, which is, I think that's great. I honestly have to throw terror spells around. They're not very great on defense, that's for sure. Gold and food reserve amounts have been corrected. So they said it was going to increase, and people were mulling over the fact that when they checked the actual amounts of the reserves, they actually had not been increased. So now they have been corrected. In fact, right now we can go take a look at my reserves. Bada bing, bada boom. A level 11 gold reserve protects 196,000, going up by 56,000 in the next level. That is significantly more than previous, so that's great. That's reflecting correctly now. One of the big things people saw right off the bat was that the army power number has been changed. So what they're saying is it's calculated differently. It's a new formula. We were kind of used to this. Remember the DPS thing, right? So it's a new formula that more accurately describes your power level, taking other things into account, right, than before. So your army and the armies you're attacking are not weaker. You probably figured that out if you've been attacking, but they're not weaker. It's just a cosmetic change. So the numbers may be much less. That's the big thing. They're much less in value, but the strength of the army hasn't really changed. Everyone's power is going to appear at the same formula once everyone's updated. So no worries about that, and regardless of whether it's showing more from the previous load of the game or after the update, the power level is the same in attacking. So, you know, that's not a big deal. Spells on defense are insane. Have someone found that? everyone's getting killed. They heard us loud and clear. So they are lowering the cast time, giving you more room to react to the enemy spells. I believe what they mean by that is they're actually increasing the cast time. So what was happening for me was Grenadiers were unusable, unless you wanted to pay dearly for fighting anyone with any form of spell that could be thrown on them, which is basically any spell. Terror wouldn't hurt them, but it was annoying. But it would be like, we're going to cast Fireball. There it is. We're going to cast Poison. There it is. And so your Grenadiers are like, oh no, oh my God, we're dying. So you couldn't get out alive. And with how easy it is to kill off units is great. You could just throw poison spells on all your lands and you're like, doesn't matter if they take my resources, they're not going to come back for more. So they have made it so that's going to increase the cast time, and I'm actually going to do a battle mechanics video coming up very soon. So I will take a look in detail at cast times and various things like that in that video. But just stand aware to go out there and test it out now because it should be better, easier to dodge. And as always, they're saying continue to share your feedback. I'm truly impressed with the response time on this update modification. I mean, it's less than a day, I think. That's like boom. So thank you, Donna Titans team, for getting on the ball on that. And thank you, of course, Donna Titaners, for being out there and loving the game so much that you give that vehement feedback, as always. All right? So get out there and keep testing out this update. I'm still doing my calculations. And when I'm finished, I will start uploading the next update video. All right, guys, tune in. See you next time on Dawn of Titans with DVR.